In 2026, a single whisper was enough to shake the entire Chinese entertainment world. Two names, one history, millions of hearts holding their breath. Wang Yibo Xiao Zhan, not a confirmation, not a denial, just a silence, loud enough to make the fandom explode. It didn't start with a headline. It started with a feeling, a sense that something, somewhere, didn't quite add up. Fans noticed patterns before the media did. Schedules that seemed to echo each other. Public appearances that never crossed, yet always felt close. Moments that felt connected, but never confirmed. In the age of instant screenshots and digital memory, nothing truly disappears. Old interviews resurfaced. Past statements were reinterpreted. Every pause, every glance, every carefully chosen word became material for discussion. By early 2026, social media wasn't just talking, it was dissecting. Not with certainty, but with emotion. Because Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are not just celebrities. They are symbols of youth, of resilience, of stories that once changed an entire generation of viewers. And when symbols move in silence, fans listen even harder. This wasn't about declaring a truth. It was about searching for meaning. And the deeper fans looked, the more intense the questions became. Weibo didn't trend. It erupted. Threads multiplied by the minute. Some cautious, some hopeful, some fiercely protective. Fans compared timelines, not to accuse, but to understand. Was it coincidence, or simply professional overlap in a competitive industry? Was the similarity in career phases a mirror, or just destiny playing tricks? What made this moment different was restraint. No explosive claims, no reckless declarations. Instead, there was something rarer. Collective hesitation. International fans joined in, translating posts, sharing perspectives, softening conclusions. Because everyone understood one thing very clearly. This wasn't a rumor to be thrown around lightly. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan carry histories that demand care. Their journeys were shaped by pressure, misunderstanding, and intense public scrutiny. So in 2026, fans weren't asking, "Is this real?" They were asking, "If this isn't real, why does it feel so emotionally heavy?" And that question lingered. To understand why this moment hit so deeply, we have to go back. Not to a specific year, but to a specific feeling. There was a time when Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan represented more than success. They represented escape. For many fans, especially women navigating uncertainty, pressure, and loneliness, their presence on screen felt grounding. It wasn't just about a story they once shared. It was about timing, about who fans were when they first watched them, about nights spent replaying scenes, reading comments, finding comfort in a shared emotional language. So when 2026 quietly brought their names back into the same conversation, without drama, without scandal, it reopened something deeply personal. This wasn't about romance. It wasn't about labels. It was about nostalgia colliding with maturity. Fans weren't asking, "Are they together?" They were asking, "Why does this still matter to me?" Because over the years, both men grew. They faced storms separately. They learned how to stand alone under relentless scrutiny. And yet, the memory of connection, real or perceived, never fully disappeared. That's why this discussion felt emotional instead of sensational. It wasn't fueled by gossip. It was fueled by remembrance. In 2026, the fandom wasn't chasing a headline. It was revisiting a chapter that once helped them survive. What truly intensified the conversation was not action, but restraint. No clarifications, no calculated statements, no public attempt to control the narrative. In an industry trained to respond instantly, silence becomes powerful. Fans notice the professionalism, the consistency, the refusal to perform emotions for public consumption. And slowly the tone shifted from speculation to introspection. People began questioning not the relationship, but the relationship between fans and truth. Do we need answers to honor what once mattered? Or is it enough to acknowledge the impact and let it rest? By 2026, many fans had changed. They no longer demanded access to private lives. They understood the cost of constant exposure. This moment became less about two celebrities and more about boundaries, about learning when admiration turns into entitlement, and when love means letting go. Perhaps that's why this story never exploded into chaos, because the fandom itself had evolved, and in that evolution, respect finally became louder than curiosity. So where does this leave us now? Not with confirmation, not with denial, but with something far more meaningful. A shared pause. Wang Yibo continues forward, focused, disciplined, carving his own path. Xiao Zhan moves on, resilient, composed, carrying quiet strength. They don't owe explanations, and fans, for once, are learning how to ask for them. Because some connections are not meant to be explained. They are meant to be remembered for what they gave at the time they were needed most. The real story of 2026 is not about whether something exists. It's about why it still resonates, why a name can still tighten the chest, why silence can still speak. And if this story stayed with you, not as curiosity, but as emotion, then perhaps you already understand. Sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that end without an answer.